In today's video, we're going to be making a strengthening shampoo. I did try formulating it to work for all hair types, so if you try this recipe out, let me know how you like it. I'm going to be making a 150 gram batch in this video, and I'm starting with Phase A. Phase A includes Polysuga Mulse D9 and my fragrance. You can use essential oil or fragrance oil here. So I have 6 grams of the Polysuga Mulse D9 in this container. This will actually help solubilize the fragrance oil in the shampoo. And I'm going to be adding in 1.5 grams of my fragrance into the Polysuga and mix everything together. Alright, moving on to Phase B. This phase consists of AOS 40, Cocamindopryl bentane, and Crothix. I have 45 grams of AOS 40 in this container, which is the anionic surfactant that will be cleansing and be creating a lot of the lather in the shampoo. I mixed in a bit of it into my beaker of Crothix, which is the thickener for the shampoo, and I'm using 3 grams of Crothix total in this formula, and I did actually slightly heat up the Crothix before adding in the AOS 40. You could just add the Crothix in at the end of the formula, but I find much better results doing it this way by heating up the Crothix a bit and adding the Crothix into the surfactants first. Once the Crothix is completely mixed into the AOS 40, I took 30 grams of Cocamindopryl bentane, which is an amphoteric surfactant that offers great lather and is a foam booster, and I mixed it in with the AOS 40 and Crothix. And you can immediately see how much this is thickened up. So you can set that to the side while we work on the next phase, and the next phase is Phase C. Phase C consists of distilled water, liquid dermal plus, Keratin, honeyquat, hydrolyzed quinoa, and bamboo extract. Actually, glycerin is also part of this phase, but apparently I forgot to weigh it out beforehand. Sorry about that. So I got 48.75 grams of distilled water in this beaker, along with 0.75 grams of liquid dermal plus, which is the preservative. I'll first be adding in 3 grams of Keratin. This is a vegan alternative to keratin. Keratin helps strengthen hair, enhance elasticity, and helps protect hair from harsh salon processes. Then I'm adding in 3 grams of honeyquat. This helps moisturize the hair and provides shine and luster. Then 3 grams of hydrolyzed quinoa, which can enhance color retention, provide film forming and moisture retention benefits, protect hair, and increase shine for healthier looking hair. Then 3 grams of bamboo extract, which is high in silica deposits that help give smoothness, shiness, and strength to hair. Then lastly is glycerin, which, like I said, I completely forgot to pre-measure it out. I added in 3 grams of glycerin, which is a humectant that will help hydrate the hair, helping to strengthen the hair, reduce split ends, and define a curl pattern. And that's it for Phase C. Make sure everything is mixed together. Then you can add in Phase A and mix it in until it's completely combined. Now for our extremely thick Phase B, I did decide to pour in the Phase A and C mixture into Phase B to make things a little bit easier. I mixed in just a little bit, then added in a little bit more, and once that was kind of completely full, I then poured it all back into the beaker with Phase A and C, then kept mixing until everything was well combined. So now that everything is mixed together, let's check and balance the pH. In order to check the pH, you want to create a 10% dilution of your product. That means you can take like 2 grams of your shampoo and dilute it in 18 grams of distilled water. It doesn't really matter exactly how much you weigh out as your dilution. You just want to make sure you have at least 10% of your product diluted in distilled water. The reason we do this is because the shampoo is way too thick for the pH meter to properly take the pH, so we need to dilute it down a little bit to make it thinner. So mix the shampoo in until it dissolves into the water. Then place in your pH meter. The pH of this shampoo is at 5.93. The pH of hair is naturally around 4.5 to 5.5, so you really want to shoot for a pH lower than 5.5, or right at 5.5 is fine as well. High pH levels can increase the friction of the hair, which leads to frizz, hair breakage, and general hair unmanageability. So it is better to use a pH balanced shampoo. So that's why we're balancing the pH here. So all I did to lower the pH is I added in 3 drops of a diluted solution of citric acid. I dissolved 50 grams of citric acid in 50 grams of distilled water to make this solution. So I mixed the 3 drops into my shampoo and I let it sit for about a minute to let the pH sort of balance before I took the pH again. So once again, I made a 10% dilution of my shampoo in distilled water to take the pH. And now the pH is at 5.33, which is perfect. And all I needed to add was 3 drops of my citric acid dilution. So keep that in mind, you do not need to add a lot of your citric acid solution. You just want to do a few drops at a time. Now that the pH is balanced, I'm going to cover my beaker and let it sit overnight to let all the foam settle. As you can see, there's so much foam in it. So here we are the next day. Look at how different the shampoo looks now. So make sure you let it sit before bottling it up. And this turned out having the perfect viscosity. You really don't want your shampoo being too thick or else it doesn't spread into your hair very well and it doesn't really lather as much either. So I'm packaging mine up in a 4-ounce bottle, and I don't know why, but I'm really obsessed with the color of this shampoo. It turned out so pretty. I also made a label for my shampoo. If you would like to learn how I make my labels, I will link to a video in my description box, along with a video that talks about the FDA regulations for labeling cosmetics in the US, just in case you're planning on selling them. And that's it. This is the final product. I've used the shampoo twice since I've made it, and I'm really loving it. It's probably my favorite shampoo I've ever made, even though I haven't really made too many shampoos, so I don't know if that's saying too much. So here's a formula for the strengthening shampoo. If you didn't know, formulas for cosmetics are written in percents and then transferred to a recipe in grams. If you would like to learn how to transfer a formula written in percents into a recipe in grams, then I will link to a video in my description box that explains how to do that. I also have a Patreon that I recommend going and checking out. I have a blog post that goes right along with this video, along with a PDF file that you can actually download and print out to this recipe. I also post 2 exclusive videos every single month over there, so go check it out. I'll have my Patreon linked down in the description box. And with all that said, let's move on to the shoutouts. At Stardust Bath & Body, Nature's Farm Girl, Kennedy's Essentials, LettsBlend, Creative with Love, Wallflower Wildflower, Heartfelt Beauty, KAJ Bath & Body, Blue Mint Soaps, Say Terra, Salt Air Label, Lenny's Beauty, Shark City Naturals, Ohana Lay, Danny Botanicals, Eclectic Beauty Cosmetics, EC Naturals, at Nino55, Burrita Skincare, DeMarie Skin, Kay's Spa Soap, Kay & Cool, Hempy Girl, AlchemyandClay.com, and Brie Maquillage. And lastly, I have a special shout out that goes out to 2 young entrepreneurs who just started their business together. Go show them your support. Their Instagram is at aramosa.co. I really hope I pronounced that right. If I didn't, I'm so sorry. I hope you all enjoyed this recipe. If you do decide to try it out, definitely let me know how you like it down in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Later!
Stuck in the motions, I've been consumed by the wrath of time like I'm frozen. I'm shattered in this life, it's still the path that I've chosen. Because I've had a vision, now I'm on a mission to find myself.